One iconic gun I've always had a soft spot for is the FN SCAR. This weapon has had a few variations make the rounds and has stood out as having a different design compared to other AR platforms and has the ability to adapt for firepower needs of the team. An absolute classic that stands out from many games, the SCAR or SOCOM Combat Assault Rifle was designed by FN Herzl to attempt to replace the M4 standard issued by the US Special Operations. The SCAR features a gas-operated short-stroke piston. This means that the bullet, when fired, reaches a point with a hole at the end of the receiver. The gas is directed back towards the bolt and will push back a piston cycling the gun. This is what you would see when the handle on the side of the SCAR goes back in these games. The M4 uses a direct impingement system. In this case, the gas directly pushes the bolt cycling the gun without the need for a piston. Each has its advantages and disadvantages. Direct impingement, you can get carbon buildup and overheating, but it's lighter and can be easier to control. Gas operated with the SCAR is cleaner and more reliable, but are heavier and can be less accurate. The SCAR also features advantages such as a modular rapid change barrel, allowing operators to switch calibers in the field. Due to some of the issues with the M4 platform, such as limited range, carbon buildup over time, and frequent maintenance, also the need for something more reliable when special forces are working in different environments like coming out of water, alternatives were being considered to take the place of the venerable platform. SOCOM held competitions for manufacturers to come and try to give a design that would fit better with the needs of the military. One such rifle submitted was the FN SCAR range, including the MK16. Unfortunately though, the weapon failed to become the replacement. Though it was a little more reliable, the gaps between the SCAR and the M4 were not substantial enough to justify spending more on the SCAR, retraining soldiers, and stockpiling parts. The differences between the two may have slightly been in the favour of the SCAR, but not noticeable enough on the field to be worth it. Some advantages include its accuracy, accessibility, for example, ambidextrous controls, and its collapsible stock that made it more compact. Its short stroke gas piston also pushed out less gas into the handler's face. Though it did not make it as a replacement, the SCAR did find some success elsewhere, with a number of variants being produced. The MK17 or SCAR H is used by Special Forces and Army with its ability to convert to a 5.56mm. The SCAR is also used in countries such as France, Poland, and Belgium. Even in Battlefield, we've been exposed to different variations of this gun going back to Battlefield 3, with the MK16 SCAR L, a light version chambered in 5.56 by 45mm NATO, and the Mark 17 SCAR H, a heavy version chambered in 7.62 by 51mm NATO. Another familiar version we have seen in Battlefield games could be the SCAR H SV. This is similar to the sniper variant, the SCAR 20S, which is a more precise gun chambered in a 6.5 Creedmoor or a 308. This also came with a heavier barrel and non-reciprocating charging handles. An interesting one that may not be well known is the PDW version of the SCAR, called the SCAR SC. Chambered in 5.56 by 45mm NATO, this little PDW is very compact and has a non-reciprocating charging handle. In recent first-person shooters, the SCAR really doesn't get much love. It looks great and can feel punchy in Battlefield 6, but has been plagued by the same issues every time there is a new rendition. Poor damage, slow rate of fire, low magazine capacity, and in certain games, forced under-barrel attachments that nobody used and made the SCAR look like a Nerf gun, but we don't talk about that. The last time I really felt a great SCAR was in Modern Warfare 2, which may have been the game to really break out the image of a proper modern military assault rifle. The BF6 version, I think, has a great design with extra detail added to the gun to make it look more battle-worn. Faded serial numbers, scratched out charging handles, the worn look to the mag and the mag release all gets me going on the aesthetic. But how is it in the game? The SCAR, or SOR in Battlefield 6, has a damage of 25 which drops off to 16 at long range. This means it's a 4-shot kill at close range, but then it drops off at longer ranges. The gun is quite accurate, but you will find that it will be very slow to kill at longer ranges. It also has a lower rate of fire at 568, which can also cause issues at short range when matched with other weapons such as the M4 assault rifle and the carbine variant. This can go down to a 3-shot kill at short range with only headshots, but the headshot multiplier is on the lower end for assault rifles. The magazine capacity is 30 and the muzzle velocity is at 800 meters per second. When compared to the real SCAR H, we have an 875 meters per second muzzle velocity, which is very close. A 600 rounds per minute rate of fire, which is again pretty much the same, and the same magazine capacity at 30. So aesthetically, it's great and very similar to the real thing, but even though it's accurate, it plays slow, and it's not very capable against higher damage per second guns, especially at range. So that's it. There'll be more of this to come in the future, so I'll see you in the next one.
We have lost objective Bravo. Hostiles have seized.
Grab what you can!
We have weakened the enemy forces. Keep fighting.
We need attack support on the marked objective.
Come on!
We have eliminated over half of their forces. Good work. Troops have secured Alpha.
Frag out!